Greetings everyone, we are the fifth presenter in today's reporter. The topic that we're going to discuss will be about the familiarization with the parts and functions of the universal testing machine. I am Shalomay Basilio, and for starters, let us know first what is a universal testing machine. A universal testing machine, also known as a materials testing machine, can be used to test the tensile and compressive properties of materials. These types of machines are called universal testing machines because they can perform all the tests like compression, bending, torsion, and etc. Before going any further, let's have a little recap on what is a tensile and compressive properties. A tensile properties include the resistance of materials to pulling or stretching forces, while a compressive strength or compression strength is the capacity of a material or structure to withstand loads tending to reduce size. Next, we're going to discuss about the UTM or Universal Testing Machine's components. So it has two main parts. First would be the loading unit, second would be the control unit. The loading unit is the arrangement and exertion, while the control unit is the variations in applications of the load and corresponding test result. Discussing about the loading unit, for its components, it has the load frame, upper and lower crossheads, and the elongation scale. For the load frame, it has a single or double support. It consists of a table where the specimen is placed for the compression test. Next is the upper and lower crosshead. For the upper crosshead, it has to clamp one end of the test specimen. For the lower crosshead, it is a movable crosshead whose screws can be loosened for height adjustment and tighten. They had the grip to hold the specimen. Next is the elongation scale, which measures the relative movement of the lower and upper table. An elongation scale which is provided along with the loading unit. As we're discussing the control unit and its components, we have the hydraulic power unit, the load measuring unit, and control devices. Hydraulic power unit is an oil pump that provides non-pulsating oil flow with the main cylinder of the load unit. This flow helps in the smooth application flow of the specimen. The oil pump in the hydraulic power unit is run by an electric motor. So as for the load measuring unit, it has a pendulum dynamometer unit that has a small cylinder with a piston, which moves with the non-pulsating oil flow. As for the control devices, we have the electric, which makes use of switch. And as for the hydraulic, it consists of two valves. The right control valve, which refers to the apply load, and the left control valve, which refers to the release load application.
Good day, I am Tricia Eldoria, and I will be discussing about the different types of universal testing machines. So first, we have the single-column universal testing machine. These are designed to test a wide range of materials in tension, compression, bending, tearing, or peeling, such as plastics, films, rubber, packaging, non-woven materials, filter materials, leather, adhesives, paper, aluminum, food, toys, and medical products. Second is a double or dual column universal testing machine. It offers a wide range of material testing possibilities, with large testing areas and high stiffness frames. The dual column test stands are designed to measure medium or high force ranges on large materials where high precision is required. Next are the main functions of the UTM. The main functions of the universal testing machine is to know and test the mechanical properties of the materials. The standard tests performed by the UTM are tension test, compression test, bending test, and hardness test. A tension test is a test that helps determine the effectiveness and behavior of a material when a stretching force acts on it. A compression test is a test that are used to determine the material behavior under a load. Third is the bending test. This test is a simple and inexpensive qualitative test that can be used to evaluate both the ductility and soundness of a material. And last is the hardness test. This test is to determine the resistance a material exhibits to permanent deformation by penetration of another harder material. Now let us tackle about the main components of the control unit of the universal testing machine. First is the control device, which consists of electronic and hydraulic control device. The electronic makes use of a switch to turn the unit on and off, while the hydraulic consists of two valves, the right and left control valve. The right control valve is used in order to apply a load compressment, while the left control valve is used to release the load application. Second is the hydraulic power unit. It is an oil pump that provides non-pulsating oil flow into the main cylinder of the load unit. This is used in the smooth application flow of specimen. And lastly, the load measuring unit. It has a pendulum dynamometer unit that has a small cylinder with a piston which moves with the non-pulsating oil flow.
Good day, I'm Clarity Donaire Jr. and I will be discussing about the applications of UTM. So a UTM, or also known as the Universal Testing Machine, is a service for conducting tests in tension, compression, bending, and shearing for metals and other materials. The testing machine is operated hydraulically, and driving is performed with the help of an electric motor. Load verification of the testing machines meets the requirements of year 1828 to year 1975. So as for the UTM's advantages, first is that it is used for tensile testing, which is a destructive test process that provides information about the tensile strength, yield strength, and ductility of the metallic materials. It is also employed in the study of the properties of thin materials. In addition, it is also used to test the mechanical properties of materials. And lastly, a machine used to test specimens for tensile strength, compressive strength, shear strength, and other important laboratory tests.
Hey everyone, so now I will continue the discussion of our report for the UTM's disadvantages, or the Universal Testing Machine's disadvantages. First, the machine produces an initial system that is more expensive to build and maintain, and it is difficult to customize, and it will surely require training of its maintenance staff. Lastly, the machine is difficult to use with the existing system. So, as for the conclusion of our report, because of the relatively substantial errors of all universal testing equipment, remote automatic control is quite challenging. To upgrade an existing home universal testing machine such that it retains its original manual functions while also adding network monitoring and control functions to enable resource sharing. And the system can reduce operating cost and has a broad application value.